Sometimes one voice can be louder than an army. Sometimes that voice belongs to a young girl, standing alone against the weight of the world. Her name was Rachel Corrie, and this is her story. Rachel Corrie was born in Olympia, Washington, in 1979. She was the youngest of 3 children, curious, kind, and full of hope. From a young age, she wrote about justice, peace, and compassion. In one of her school essays, she said, "I am here for others, to end suffering." Rachel believed that the world could be changed not by force, but by empathy. She grew up in a quiet American town, far from war. But her heart was troubled. She wanted to understand the world not through screens or headlines, but with her own eyes. So, like all heroes throughout the ages, she made her decision. "I will not sit by and watch. I will prove that good can be achieved through hard work and sacrifice." She took time off from her studies at the Evergreen State College in Olympia, where she had been studying arts for a year, to volunteer with the Washington State Conservation Corps. She then spent 3 more years making weekly visits to psychiatric patients, according to the International Solidarity Movement. Rachel took a greater step with high ambition, becoming a committed peace activist, organizing peace events through a local group supporting the international solidarity movement called Olympians for Peace and Solidarity. In early 2003, during her final year of college, Rachel joined the International Solidarity Movement, a group of volunteers who support Palestinians living under occupation. She proposed an independent study program in which she would travel to Gaza, join the International Solidarity Movement demonstrators, and start a sister city project between Olympia and Rafah. Before leaving, she also organized a pen pal program between children in Olympia and Rafah. When she arrived in Rafah, Gaza, she was shocked. She saw tanks in the streets, children playing next to the rubble of their homes, families living each day not knowing if they would survive the next. Rachel began writing letters to her family back home, letters that now sound like a cry from the heart. She wrote, "I think that any academic pursuit, or any reading, or any participation in conferences or watching documentaries, or hearing stories and narratives would not allow me to realize the reality here, and it is impossible to imagine it unless you see it yourself, and even after that, you wonder all the time whether your experience expresses a real reality." Rachel saw the painful truth and witnessed the bitter reality. Rachel decided to stand where no one else would. With other activists, she began protecting Palestinian homes from demolition. They wore brightly colored vests, shouted, waved flags, and tried to stop the bulldozers that were destroying homes in Rafah. She spent her days among the children, playing, teaching, and laughing, and her nights listening to the sounds of explosions in the distance. To those she met, Rachel was not just an activist, she was a symbol, a bridge between hearts. Then came the day, March 16th, 2003. It started like any other day, but it ended in tragedy. Rachel stood in front of a Palestinian family's home, her orange vest shining brightly against the gray dust. An Israeli bulldozer advanced. Eyewitnesses say she climbed onto a mound of dirt, clearly visible. She shouted through a megaphone, trying to prevent the driver from demolishing the house and the lives inside it. But the bulldozer did not stop. It kept moving, and in one unbearable moment, Rachel Corrie was gone. She was 23 years old. Her friends screamed for help. The world heard their cries, and then silence fell. In the days that followed, her story spread worldwide. It was not a matter of debate, as eyewitnesses to the incident, foreign journalists covering the demolition of Palestinian citizens' homes, confirmed that the Israeli bulldozer driver deliberately ran over Rachel and drove over her body twice while she was attempting to stop him before he demolished a civilian home. The Israeli army, however, claimed the driver was unable to see Rachel. Her parents, Cindy and Craig Corrie, were devastated, but they were determined. They fought for justice, filed lawsuits, and demanded the truth, refusing to let her death be forgotten. But years passed, and no one was ever held accountable. Governments ignored them. Courts dismissed the case. Yet something powerful remained. Her courage, her voice, her light. At the time, the late Palestinian President Yasser Arafat expressed his sorrow over Corrie's death, named a street in Ramallah after her, and reportedly told Corrie's mother that her daughter had become the daughter of all Palestinians. Today, in Gaza, schools and playgrounds bear her name. Murals of Rachel's face are painted on shattered walls, not as a symbol of death, but of life, of standing up for what is right, even if it costs everything. Today, the boat that bears her name sails as part of the Freedom Flotilla, commemorating her beautiful memory with the same determination and resolve. Her words still echo. The international community must stop turning a blind eye. Silence is what allows this to continue. Rachel Corrie's story is not just a tragedy. It is about the capacity of one human being to care deeply, to stand firm, whose message even a bulldozer cannot crush. They tried to silence her by burying her body beneath the sand, but her voice rose higher than ever. In every act of bravery, in every stance for justice, in every child who dreams of peace, Rachel Corrie lives on. Because one person, standing alone, can still ignite a spark of light and hope. And now I pose a question to you, the most dangerous question throughout the ages. It is the question that tests true principles and honest hearts. It is the defining moment in the lives of all heroic icons and great figures. Would you have stood where Rachel stood?